Hey, I'm BJ from RidersWholesale.com. I've got my Bighorn 200 here. We're going to show you how to put it together. This is the way it's going to arrive at your house inside a box with a metal crate underneath. The first thing we're going to do is take our box off. Alright, now we're ready to uncrate our ATV. You can see how well this here is put together. You're going to need a number 14 socket or a wrench or adjustable. Let's go ahead and remove all your bolts and we're going to go ahead and unpack everything. Alright, we've got our ATV unpacked. We've got it up on the forklift. If you got something to set it up on, that's what I suggest doing. As you can see right there is all that we have to assemble this ATV with. It ain't going to take very long to put it together and be up and riding. The first thing I'm going to do, just like I do always, is I'm going to start with my battery here. I went ahead and pulled the top off the battery. This right here is what your acid pack looks like. It's got some plastic wrapping around the outside. Just get something to cut it off. Make sure you don't cut into the packets of acid there. This right here is what your battery top looks like. I'll show you what to do with it here in a few minutes, but the first thing you want to do is take this acid pack and go ahead and punch out the tops of the aluminum foil. That way it turns straight up in the battery and you don't spill any. Now you just simply slide it into the battery on top and press it down. Let's go ahead and let it drain into the battery. If one of these cells right here would happen not to drain down, you can go ahead and put a pinhole in the top. But be patient, give it some time. You ought to let this acid set in the battery and activate for about an hour or two. After it does that, then you're going to want to put your top right back on. Alright, we've let our acid drain the battery for about an hour and a half. We're going to put our top in. It just slides right in the holes and just push it down until it bottoms out. After you do that, I suggest putting this battery on a motorcycle charger or trickle charge for 2 or 3 hours. After it charges for 2 or 3 hours, then you want to let it set for about 4 or 5 hours before you install it into your ATV. If you do that, the life on this battery will really increase. If you just throw it into the bike, you're not going to have much of a battery. Now we're ready to move on and assemble something else. Alright, our next step is we're going to inflate our tires. There's an air gauge that comes in your toolkit, comes in real handy. You want to pump them up, and it's recommended to put 36 pounds in them to seat the bead. If you want to let them back down afterwards, you can. Alright, now we're ready to put our tires and wheels on. The rear ones are the 25 by 10s. There's directional arrows here on the tires so you can see where they should lay out and where they should go on. Just put them up on the studs and start your loadings. You're going to need a number 19 socket. Just tighten them up real evenly. After you get them snugged up, go back and tighten. And torque them to about 50 foot-pounds of torque. After you get that done, just go all the way around it. Put all of them on. Alright, now we're going to install our handlebars. The first thing you want to do is put your dash mount up here out of the way and your plate up out of the way. A little bit of help really helps you with these to hold the other side. Put your mount there to the bottom and then fold this piece right here back over. Put you a clip to the top and go ahead and just run a bolt down through there to hold all that together. And then you want to come over here on the other side and do the same thing. After we get that done, we're going to go ahead and start our nuts on the bottom side. Alright, the next thing you want to do is position your handlebars. There's grooves right here. You want to go ahead and position them right to left to where they're equally spaced, to where that tightens down and holds them. And the next thing you want to do is you want to get the bars themselves level from handlebar to handlebar here. And then just work your way around these bolts and just snug them up and tighten them equally all the way around. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is put our key switch in. Just go ahead and take your nut here off your key switch. And then you got a plastic flip down top here to keep water out of your key switch if you ever take the key out. Keeps it from rusting up. Just slide it right up through the bracket like that. And then fold your dash mount over it. Put your rubber piece back on your key switch and go ahead and start your nut on. Just go ahead and snug that up real tight once you get it started. Alright, now I'm ready to finish up my dash panel. All you need is 2 Phillip head threaded bolts here and a Phillip heads screwdriver. Just go ahead and start them in and tighten them down, and then we're all finished up and we're ready to put our handlebar protectors on. Alright, now we're going to put our handlebar protectors on. You want to go ahead and take a Allen wrench, take these all the way out. Make sure you get your right side to put on your right side. Both of these are different. If you don't do that, they won't line up. Just go ahead and start this back. Don't tighten it up all the way. And then you got a plastic piece that goes to the inside here. Turn it up the right way, and you got 2 Phillip head screws. You just start them in and tighten them up. And once you get that tightened up, in what position you want to tighten it up in, just go ahead and snug the outside piece. Alright, now we're going to put our battery in here. I've done installed the battery nuts into the terminals. Just go ahead and pull your battery box off. This is where it goes with the terminals facing out. Just reach under the bike, slide it in, then you'll be able to start your cables. Your positive goes to positive on the battery, and then your negative goes to negative on the battery, and they're marked right there on the rubber boot, so you can't really get them mixed up. Just start your nut through the wire, start it through the top of the terminal, tighten it up. Alright, now we've installed our battery cover. The last thing you want to do is put your strap on. There's a hook in the bottom here underneath the battery. There's one in the top. Just pulls tight. Alright, now we're ready to install our skid plate on the back of our ATV. There's a slot right here in the front that it slides up in. After you slide it up in that slot, this is what your bolts and washers should look like. And the frame is already pre-drilled and tapped. Just go around and start each one. And after you get them all started, go back and tighten them down, and then we'll be all finished and ready to put gas in this. As you can see, this ATV is real simple to put together. Almost a kid could put it together. We're going to show you how great it runs here in a second. Alright, now we're ready to start our ATV. This ATV is real simple to start, and it's easy to start too. It has an electric choke built in. You don't have to fumble with the choke. All you do is simply turn the key switch on. Make sure it's in neutral. If it ain't, shift it to neutral over here on the side. This right here is your kill switch. It needs to be in the center position to crank. Pull your brake in and hit your starter button, and it should fire right up. You can also see how quiet and how smooth this bike runs. I hope you really enjoyed our assembly video on our Bighorn 200. As you can see, this is one of the best ATVs money can buy out there on the market, and you get the wholesale prices here at Riders Wholesale. Also, make sure that you go through your kit, read all your warning labels that comes with this ATV, and I recommend reading your owner's manual before you hit the trail and ride. And I hope you and your family join us out on the trail and have a good time. You've seen it here first, riderswholesale.com.